Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Health Exchange. And as my sister Glenda Burrell says, the Zoom room. But I'm your host, Troy Richardson, and I am extremely excited because the gentleman, the myth, the legend, Henry Lee, that I'm about to have a conversation with, I've watched him from afar before I interacted with him. And I just, I like to watch what people do and how they do it. And then if I feel like we have a like mind and like heart and like spirit, then I definitely try my best to connect. And that's what happened with Dr. Michael Ewald. I reached out to him, we communicated mutual respect and just brought us here today. And I'm excited that I'm bringing him not only to our community, but we're able to broadcast this message out to those who need to hear it. We have, Americans out there that are suffering from various health issues. We have doctors and healthcare professionals that need to hear what Dr. Michael Ewald is doing with his successful and I stress successful medical practice, but he's also integrated something that has really impacted people, maybe, and I'll let him tell it, maybe at a higher level than his actual medical practice. But I just want to, with no further ado, I want to introduce to you Dr. Michael Ewald. Dr. Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Welcome to the Health Exchange, Dr. Mike.
Thank you, Troy, and I really appreciate this opportunity. And kind of back at you, I've really been admiring you from afar. Some of our communication, some of the different chats that we're on. I really appreciate your enthusiasm and just zest for life. I get pumped up when I'm around you, so really appreciate you big time.
Well, I appreciate you, but let's get right into it, Dr. Mike. Just tell us, where you grew up and what did nutrition look like for you as a child in your house?
Sure. Where did I grow up? I was born in Salem, Oregon, my twin brother and I, and we actually lived in 10 different homes before the age of 12. My dad was climbing the corporate ladder for Allstate Insurance, and we were living in the Valley Forge, Pennsylvania area. He was working in New York City, but first symptom of a health issue at the young age of 46, he had a heart attack that took his life, left mom with 6 kids to raise. So we ended up back in Dayton, Ohio. That's where mom and dad were originally from. So obviously mom wanted to be around family. So I've been here ever since. I've been a Buckeye ever since the age of 12. And, as far as my diet, nutrition, pretty much meat and potatoes, and I love that stuff, but that's how we were raised, meat and potatoes. And mom was an awesome cook. She did a great job. We would have some vegetables, but not a big priority, at least for me. I didn't like vegetables growing up. I love sugar, lots of sugar, but pretty much meat and potatoes. And, we'd have a salad or maybe some corn or beans with dinner. But, really it's that diet and lifestyle that I believe took my father's, age at a young age of 46. And incidentally, his dad, my grandpa, who I never met, he was 56, I believe, when he passed from heart disease as well. So,
wow,
big family history of heart disease. And I tell people my twin brother turned 60 last year. So, if genetics has everything to do with it, I'm living on borrowed time, basically. Right. And I don't believe that, but that's how we were raised. And again, just traveling around the country, I think my dad was under a tremendous amount of stress. I know he smoked and drank a lot. Obviously that didn't help, but that's kind of how we were raised. And I actually got hurt in high school playing football. And long story short, I ended up in a chiropractor's office. And it was a great experience for me. And I got excited and I told mom, that's what I want to do. After high school, we really didn't have any money. So I actually went through an electrical apprenticeship, kind of as a means to an end. but I worked my way through school, and then went to chiropractic school, and really around 20, what would that be? Around 22, 23. That's when I really started studying the power of nutrition. And it's been a real passion of mine now for lots of years. But, the old adage, you are what you eat, it's so true. And, you look at this pandemic and what's happening, and, the reason we're struggling so much as a nation is we're just so darn unhealthy. And a lot of that goes back to what we're putting on our plates and what we're drinking, really.
Absolutely. And first of all, let me just, condolences, for you losing your dad at such a young age. When I lost my mom, it wasn't a young age, but nonetheless, whenever you lose a parent, it takes something away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed, Dr. Mike, that you threw that little Buckeye reference in there.
Wish I could have said it more proudly and more robustly, but
well,
yeah, I'm a Buckeye fan through and through.
You almost made me go get my Alabama Roll Tide hat for you and Henry Lee, but I'm not going to do that.
Good
okay?
man. Good
but
man.
Again, and I want to apologize, folks, because again, I'm really excited about having this conversation with Dr. Mike, and I'm also excited because I have my brother on the line with us, Henry Lee. And I totally forgot, and I want to allude to this to let people know a little bit about your background, Dr. Mike. Henry's going to tell us a little bit about your background. So Henry, if you could go ahead and do that at this time, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, certainly, no problem. Can you hear me all right?
Absolutely.
All right. So as Dr. Mike alluded before, so he grew up in Ohio. He's been in Dayton for most of his life. He and I met a few years ago, and just been a pleasure to get to know him and hang out with him in person for a number of times. He did a 4-year electrical apprenticeship out of high school, and he did his undergraduate work at Sinclair Community College, Wright State University. And as he said, in 1989, he graduated with chiropractic, doctorate of chiropractic, and he's been practicing for over 30 years. So it's been cool to see him in a multitude of roles, not just as a chiropractor, but really as a mentor and a friend. He has professionally been helping out with professional sports teams all over the place, professional baseball, hockey, soccer teams, and really all over North America. He has a relationship with people and helping them between understand the relationship between nutrition and disease. Super passionate about eating and lifestyle changes, and just healthy lifestyle changes in general, and just using them as simple tools to live a healthy and purposeful life. As far as Juice Plus is concerned, he and his wife Karen, super awesome a couple here. The power team is what I call them. They were introduced to Juice Plus in 1997. So it's been quite a few years, and they became national marketing directors. They are 100 club members plus, and they have received a multitude of awards within their national marketing director journey. But he's a family man. He has a couple kids, and out of their kids, they've got 5 grandchildren too. And I've had the pleasure to meet some of them down at his farm. He oftentimes puts together a men's hillbilly boot camp, and it's super fun. This past year, we did it with families. So definitely a awesome chiropractor, but really a family man, a mentor, and a friend at heart. So without further ado, I want to turn it back over to you, Troy, so you can get on with our interview with Dr. Mike.
Troy, you're muted, bud.
Okay. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate that from another Buckeye. 2 Buckeyes on 1 call. Wow. But Dr. Mike, getting back to you, besides health and nutrition and helping straighten backs out, what are 2 other passions in life that you have and that inspire you?
Sure. Henry, thanks for that introduction. And maybe go back to, if you don't mind, before I answer that, Troy, Henry mentioned my wife, Karen. It was really her. I mean, I was getting a lot of head knowledge on nutrition and fascinated by it. But, when I met my wife, I was eating everything, Mountain Dew, and, just, I knew I should eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, but as far as doing it, that wasn't happening. But really it was Karen, my wife, that when I met her, I wouldn't call her a vegetarian, but she just didn't like meat. So I'm like, whatever you're doing, I'm going to do it too, because I want to be around you. And it was really her that turned me on to healthier eating. And then through the educational process, I really, I don't live a perfect life, but it definitely has been a priority in our family for a long time. And, as far as a couple of my passions, and you had sent that to me that you might ask me that, and I've been thinking about that. I got a lot of passions, but I love the outdoors, anything outdoors. As Henry mentioned, we have some property down in Southern Ohio. I love having church groups down there and friends and just hiking and biking. I took a 1,500-mile bicycle ride about 5 years ago now. And so that's something I've tried to keep up. Rode from Ohio to Florida, which was amazing trip. But bicycling, hiking, anything outdoors. And then my other passion, I wish I could say this has been my passion my whole life, but I love pursuing the Lord. I love the Bible, and trying to live those principles has become a huge passion of mine, and hoping to really finish strong with that. That's my desire.
Wow. I mean, first of all, did you say you rode a bike 1,500 miles?
I did, yeah. I rode through West Virginia, got on the East Coast, and then I rode all the way down to just below Cape Canaveral, a place called Satellite Beach. And I did some speaking along the way, slow and steady. It was nothing fast, but I had a great time. I really did.
Just thinking about that. I mean, driving 1,500 miles for most people, you get them after a long drive. Whoa, wow. You did it on a bike. Nonetheless, you took some rest here and there, but still, that is what an accomplishment. What an accomplishment. And then, giving praises to the Lord every day. That's all I do, because without him, none of this would be possible. So amen to that, brother. But we talk about Juice Plus and this whole food plant nutrition. And it's not like there's an extensive product line. They do keep it simple enough that, it's easy. But what is your favorite go-to product? Maybe when you took that 1,500-mile bike ride, what is your favorite product and why?
I love them all. But, for me, the trio blend, the fruit, the vegetable, and the berry blend, and especially with what I've shared with you about my family history, the cardiovascular issues, I love the berry blend. I wouldn't recommend taking that just by itself. But when you look at heart health, we need lots of different fruits, vegetables in our body every day to be healthy. But especially if you're looking at heart health, and reducing inflammation and having good blood flow, you need lots of berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and the trio blend, specifically the Vineyard in that fruit, vegetable, and berry blend. I love it. And I really feel like it's making a huge difference, because I look at my twin brother who continues to eat how we were raised. And actually I was going to bring up some slides and show you a picture of him, but I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But if he were standing next to me, he's conservatively got me beat by about 80 pounds. He's on high blood pressure meds, cholesterol drugs, some other stuff. He's had 19 colonoscopies for precancerous stuff. And again, it's not that I'm different or better. We come from the same genetic, melting pot, but I know what the difference for me has been. We eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I've been taking my Juice Plus now for almost 23 years. And, it's that little bit of a lot every day that's made a big difference in my life. So love the Vineyard blend, love the trio blend, we call it. For those of you on the Zoom here that don't know, the Juice Plus comes in it's concentrated fruit and vegetable powders. We got a vegetable, we got a fruit, and then this berry blend. I think there's 9 different berries, but I take 2 each of these every day, and I just love it. And I know you asked for one product, Troy, but on that bicycle ride, I would do about double the dosages of that trio a day. And then I did something called Complete. It's a plant protein. You could use it as a meal replacement or pre or post workout drink, but I start pretty much every day. But I would drink about 2 or 3 of those shakes, those Complete shakes, on that bicycle trip. And I can honestly say that I felt better at the end of that trip than I did at the beginning. And I think I attribute a lot of it to Juice Plus for sure.
Well, I mean, that's what this is all about, this community. It's about testimony, personal testimony that you have lived through in your journey in this life that we have that can be short. So it's best that you maximize it the best that you can, especially when we have examples of people around us that are perishing early. And a lot of times it may be avoided with plant-based nutrition. But you mentioned your brother. What's your brother's name?
Mark.
Mark.
I'm 4 minutes. I'm 4 minutes older than he is. That's always been a big point of contention with him. So I love it. I'm his older brother.
All right. By 4 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm praying for Mark. But Mark is like many that we in this journey, we have family members, we have friends, we have church members that we know need this. So my question is, why do you feel it's so important to put plant-based nutrition into our lifestyles? And if you've touched on it, but for those who just don't want to make that choice for whatever reason, but why do you feel, and I know the answers, but why do you feel it's I would say critical in this climate we're in right now more than ever that people get this in their body?
Absolutely. And the best fuel, if you look at it like a car, the best fuel, if you want that vehicle to last a long time, you're going to put high grade fuel in it. You're going to change the oil, and we in America, especially, we have kind of compromised for the fast paced, taste good, quick and easy lifestyle. And we have gotten so far away from eating plants, fruits, vegetables, all that stuff grown in the dirt, that I believe God created for us to function, 100%. And the experts now, believe it or not, and this is hard to believe, but 9 to 13 servings a day, 9 to 13 servings a day of fresh raw fruits and vegetables, about 2/3 veggies to about a third fruits. But most people, that's just so foreign to them. They might eat an apple, they might have a salad at lunch, but we're eating all these animal products. We're eating a lot of processed food with all kinds of stuff we can't even pronounce, in it, and it's very toxic. And if you really want to get back to the basics, and if you want 2021 to be your best year ever, just start eating more fruits and veggies. It's amazing, all the powerful things, all the antioxidants, all the literally tens of thousands of good things found in plants that your body desperately needs. And you're not going to get it in a Big Mac. Soda is not nourishing you in any way. And it's just making some simple changes over time, drinking more water, getting something called sleep. That's a hard thing nowadays with COVID and the political, environment. Most of us are stressed out, but if you want to sleep well, you got to drink water, you got to eat fruits and vegetables, you got to do exercise. I know that's a foreign word to a lot of us, but just some really simple, basic things that everybody knows they should be doing to be healthy. And I know we're wearing our mask and we're doing socially distancing and we're washing our hands, and all that's great. But if you want to give yourself the best opportunity to be healthy in this pandemic, is fruits and veggies, water, exercise, rest, that kind of stuff. It sounds so simple. And of course, the Juice Plus, as much as I could talk about it literally for hours. I love it. I am sold out to the Juice Plus company, which has been around for 50 years now. It's a company of integrity, and they're all about health. The trio blend that I talked about, the Complete, the plant protein, I love it. They also help people grow their own fruits and veggies with something we call the Tower Garden. So, I love the company. I never tell people that you can take Juice Plus and eat whatever you want. Juice Plus is not in place of eating right. It's a great first step, but, you know, getting those fruits, vegetables, and berries in your body every day. With 20 years now, I've been recommending it to my patients. We've got 4 generations eating it. My wife's parents, Karen, my wife and I, we eat it. All 3 of our kids and now all 5 of our grandchildren are being raised on Juice Plus. So I can tell you, it's definitely making a positive difference in the lives of our family, as well as countless patients that you know, I've had eating it and taking it. It's great stuff.
Yes. Now, let's touch on your practice and how long you've been in practice, and what this has meant to the clients that you've been able to introduce this to, and also talk to those doctors and physicians and medical professionals out there that, for whatever reason, and when I talked to Dr. Sears, he said a lot of doctors are fearful of the income loss if they start to, you know, present this to their clients, and it's the total opposite. So what would you say to those physicians out there on what this could mean, not only to their clients, but to their practice?
Sure. You know, and I am not presently practicing full time. I practiced for 30 years here in Dayton, and I do some vacation coverage now. I don't have a freestanding office anymore, which I love my practice, but I'm glad to say that at 60 years young, you know, I'm only doing that part-time now. And, you know, doctors are so busy with what they're doing, and especially now, they're just overwhelmed with, you know, this pandemic and everything else. And you know, for a medical doctor, they're prescribing their medicines, and they're talking to their patients about getting healthy. Chiropractors, you know, we're focused on neuromuscular skeletal stuff. We're adjusting their spines, we call it, and doing that kind of stuff. And I would just encourage doctors, you know, if that's your only focus, which is good, you know, you're helping people, but if you're not talking to your patients about, you know, their diet and lifestyle, you know, trying to help them clean that stuff up, making some simple recommendations, you know, long term, I would ask you, are we doing the best for our patients? You know, and so I think if you really want to be a forward-thinking health professional, you know, you got to start talking to them about these simple things, you know, diet and lifestyle. And the Juice Plus, again, it's not a panacea for all your patients' issues, but the fact is there's nothing, there's no illness, no disease process, no strained muscle, you know, nothing out there that people are suffering from that won't benefit from better nutrition, right? And of course, the opposite is true. You know, poor nutrition they're not going to heal well. They're just not going to do good. So the Juice Plus for me is just a simple first step. I would just encourage the doctors, you know, just be open, check this out. The product's the real deal. It's been around for 26 years now, 26, 27. And really what sets it apart is the research. You know, if you've not looked at the research behind Juice Plus, we've got over 43 studies, published studies now that show that Juice Plus do good things when it gets into the body. And that's usually my challenge. Doctors can, you know, poo-poo this or say that, but, you know, show me something else that has the research, all of it done outside of the company, which I so appreciate. They're done at peer-reviewed, you know, universities, research facilities around the world. And there's just nothing else that comes close to the research that's been done on it like Juice Plus. And that is a health professional. That's what gives me the confidence and the credibility to share with others. And the company's actually designed they call it the Wellness Plus program, where they actually have developed scripts and everything that's very easy for doctors to incorporate Juice Plus, you know, into their practice. And I've never pushed it. I don't push anything on people. I make strong recommendations for what I believe is going to help them. Then I let them, you know, make their own informed decision. But that's how it worked in my practice. And, you know, some patients, they loved it. Some patients weren't interested, and that's okay. But the ones that ate the Juice Plus consistently, they were by far my healthiest, you know, patients, and they did great. And they also were my best referring patients. So it's not like I don't want, you know, I want my patients getting healthy. It's not an income thing it's not an income loss for me. You know, when you have healthy, happy patients, they're going to be sending you more patients. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely. And thank you for that eloquent answer, and hopefully that will help some physicians that are going to hear this. But you mentioned your kids and 5 grandkids, and no way you look 60 years young. Amen. The Lord has been very good, blessing you that way. But tell us about the Children's Health Study, and I'm sure some of your grandkids, if not all of them, are on that program. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I sure can. The Children's Health Study, which I think we're calling it the Healthy Family Starts program now. And this was big in my practice. I love the opportunity to offer Juice Plus to my patients, obviously, but to be able to offer a program where children between the ages of, I think, 4 up to a full-time college student, they can actually get Juice Plus for free, which is, it's huge. It's huge. And they've developed a huge study, an ongoing long-term study around these kids taking Juice Plus. But essentially, it's a 2-for-1 deal. If a child wants to get on the program, an adult associated with that young person, either a mom or a dad or an aunt or an uncle or whoever that loves that child, can actually partner with them. And it's a huge win for everyone. And these kids, that are in this study, you're seeing improved academic performance. You're seeing less missed days, which I sure don't know what this year looks like, but historically you're seeing less missed school days. You're seeing improved performance, but just across the board. And a really cool thing to me is just by adding Juice Plus to these little bodies, it's actually metabolically changing their eating habits. They're craving, they're desiring more fruits and vegetables. So not only are you helping them with, getting the Juice Plus into their body, but they're also actually taking better steps, drinking more water, all kinds of great things they're showing in this Healthy Family Starts program. It's awesome.
That is great. And yes, what a program. My kids are on it. My granddaughter's on it. Trying to get my dog on it, but he's giving me a little resistance, but we're still working on him. But and this is for the people, the amazing people in our community. Dr. Mike, what do you feel is the outlook for our business? If you, and of course you have a big team yourself, what do you feel is the outlook, and why are you so excited about the future of
Sure.
Juice Plus?
And if I could write a scenario for what we're all about, healthy living around the world, inspiring healthy living around the world. And in no way am I happy to see this pandemic, happen, but hopefully my dream in all of this is a huge wake up call for all of us. And again, the reason we as a nation have been hit so hard, and I know we lead the world in deaths, is our reality is we lead the world in heart disease and diabetes and cancer, and we're just an unhealthy nation. So for where we're at as a company, 50-year-old company, always innovating, coming out with great products. Last year, and again, I say this humbly, but last year was the best year in our company's history. So I would say the need's never been greater. Everybody on the planet needs to eat more fruits and vegetables. We've got a simple solution to that, a great first step. And, for me personally, when I agreed to take Juice Plus, I had told the folks, a guy named Guy DeBeau, who introduced it to me, I said, I'll take your product, but I don't want anything to do with your stupid business model. I just had a lot of preconceived ideas, and I just, the whole direct selling, what's that all about? But I've gone from a complete skeptic to, in my opinion, the opportunity associated with Juice Plus to diversify your income and in the process helping others. I love it. I'm just as proud again to be a Juice Plus rep as I am to be a chiropractor. And there's nothing wrong with diversifying. Every financial planner will tell you. I know that we lost, I think we lost 20 million jobs last year. We're about halfway back to replacing those. But for those of you, especially that have been hit hard by this pandemic economically, why not consider diversifying your income, helping people with their health. I love the opportunity behind Juice Plus Rep. There's also a potential for a full medical dental disability plan in their top levels. They've got tuition reimbursement, dental, eye care. It's just a great company to be associated with. So, and we are the #1 whole food nutritional product company in the world. We lead the world in hydroponics, tower garden growing. It's just a great place to be. The future looks bright, and unless they say don't eat more fruits and vegetables, I don't ever see this thing going away. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, I'll tell you right there, you make me want to leave and come back into the community based off of what you just said. Just pure excitement and confirmation and affirmation of why we do what we do is spreading the word of healthy living. And I think more and more people, because of our efforts, because of the amount of new partners we introduced to this community last year, I want to say upwards of 30, 40, I forget what the number is, but let's just say over 30,000 new partners joined us last year. That is a lot of people. And not one person was furloughed from our corporate office.
Mm-hmm.
That is unheard of. So for you folks out there, as Dr. Mike said, you're looking to diversify your income. This is what better way to add income than by helping others. And for those of you who might look at the Bible, Ecclesiastes 11:2 says we should have at least 7 streams of income, most 8, but at least 7 streams of income. It's written in the Bible. Not only is Dr. Mike telling you, I'm telling you, but it's in there. So we try to inspire healthy living, and I try to inspire hope. And hopefully that once you see this and you hear the testimony from Dr. Michael Ewald, something will resonate with you, maybe a sentence, a word, something that you will have some hope and be inspired. But that's what this community is all about. Although we make no medical claims to cure anything, again, science, do your research, look up science with fruits and vegetables and see what it does, not only for the body, but for the spirit, the mind, just the entire temple that we call our body. Please do your research and get back to the person who invited you here and who might share this video with you. Get back to them and just tell them, please tell me more. I want to make a difference. I want to make one simple change in my life. Can you help me? And I guarantee you the answer is going to be yes, because we don't turn anybody away. We welcome everyone that wants to listen and wants to join and just make a difference in their life. But Dr. Mike, I'm going to ask you, you have any parting words that you'd like to offer? Anything you'd like to say?
I'm just looking at the participants here, and I see Dr. Joe Paul, MD. He's looking up. I've kind of admired him from afar, getting to know him a little bit. But what's neat about this is in this community, you'll see people from all walks of life, all walks of degrees and stuff. And Dr. Joe and I, we may not agree on all treatment plans, perhaps. But what is profound about this is I don't care if you're a medical doctor, a chiropractor, a massage therapist, a psychologist, whatever you have behind your name, alphabet wise, we all agree that everybody needs more fruits and vegetables. There's nobody saying, don't do that. So as simple as this message might be today, folks, this is the answer to what, Juice Plus cures nothing, but this is the answer to our healthcare crisis, is more fruits and vegetables for sure. So appreciate seeing you there, Dr. Joe.
Well, Dr. Joe, you're welcome anytime. You want to jump on, please jump on. Now, what kind of doctor is Dr. Joe, Dr. Mike? Is he a chiropractor also?
Medical doctor. Go ahead, Doctor.
I'm an OBGYN.
Okay, awesome.
And
awesome.
Tammy Estevez has been kind enough to invite me to several of your Zooms, and I've really enjoyed them. And so I think this is my 3rd one, Tammy. But I'm an OBGYN, and I've been on Juice Plus for about 18 years myself. And made lots of lifestyle changes about 15 years ago, lost 40 pounds, and kind of like Dr. Mike, was raised on meat and potatoes, and my parents cooked meals. My dad made a lot of vegetable soups. So we got enough vegetables, but it could have been more. And I've been in practice for 35 years now, and I'm a primary care specialist, being a women's health specialist, being an OBGYN, and there is nothing in it for me to have unhealthy patients. There's nothing in it for me to have, whether she's pregnant or not, the obesity crisis and the chronic disease burden that's approaching 50% now in our country. I want to undo that in my practice because it makes my life simpler. And when I talked to Doug Odom about this a couple years ago, he one of the first questions, to address what Mike said about trying to get more doctors on board, the first question that Dr. Odom asked me is, are you in solo practice or are you in a group? And I said, I'm in solo practice. I've been in solo practice for 20 years. I've been in groups. And he said, good, because apparently when he got started with Juice Plus, he had two partners and they accused him of selling vitamins. And then the practice fell apart. And that's, for those of you who are not healthcare professionals and you want to attract more healthcare professionals, my advice to you is to probably focus on those that are solo practitioners than group, because I think you're going to have a better chance of bringing them on board than in a group, because they're going to be worried about what their partners are saying. And then, primary care is OBGYN, pediatrics, internal medicine, and family practice. Once you start getting into the surgical subspecialties, you start getting into ENT and orthopedics and cardiothoracic surgery, those people are so busy with their surgical craft. Absolutely, it would be better to do a hip replacement in a 150-pound person than a 300-pound person that is nutritionally intact. Absolutely. But they do surgery and then they get rid of the patient. It comes back to the primary care specialist. So our focus really needs to be those folks, those doctors and nurse practitioners and PAs that are in primary care. I think we'll have a better chance in bringing them on board and spreading this message that fruits and vegetables will never go out of style.
Hey, Dr. Joe, let me tell you something, brother. I just met you. I don't know you, but I like you, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stay consistent. I love you, my brother. You one of the kings in this community. But I'm going to invite you to a future health exchange so we could talk a little bit more about you. Okay?
Sounds good. I just opened up a Bible and looked at Ecclesiastes. So you got me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is serious business that we do in this community. I have to tell you. But again, Tammy, make sure the good doctor gets my information so we can get him on a health exchange in the future. But again, Dr. Mike, Henry Lee, thank you so much, Henry. Welcome back in the supportive role. I don't even know how I made it without you through these Zooms, man. But I just appreciate this community. I love you all so much. And just have an amazing rest of your Saturday. Have a great weekend. God bless you all. And we will see you next time. Take care.
All right, take care all.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This was really awesome.